What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going over 12 tips to moving across country to the state of Michigan. So make sure you stay tuned.
Let's go.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Kevin Irwin.
And I'm Ross Young.
We are local real estate agents here in the West Michigan area. If this is your very first time to our channel, we go over anything and everything that has to do with living and thriving here in Michigan. So make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the little bell notification so you get notified every time we put a video out. You know what? We like making these videos, but we love helping you make a move here or relocate to Michigan much more. So do not hesitate to reach out to us. You can call us, you can text us, you can email us, you can even send a pigeon care if you guys have to. Whatever you have to do, Ross and I have your back when it comes to making a move here in West Michigan. Hey, make sure you stay to the end because we are doing a really cool Michigan giveaway. We're going to show that off at the end of the videos and how to enter for that giveaway. So without further ado, Ross, what do the people need to know about moving here?
Man, it is going to be a challenge. No.
It's going to be the worst thing ever.
All right, so tip number one is start packing early. Now, if you've made the decision that you're going to move across the country or even across states, you want to start early. Now, that kind of leads us into number two. Tip number two, give yourself enough time to plan for the move. Now, a lot of these movers, that they require at least a couple months of lead time in order to schedule your move, especially when you're moving from, say, like California to Michigan.
That's a long distance, so what do we mean by start packing early and giving yourself enough time to move? Like, this is a big deal. You're not just moving a couple miles away from your house. In some cases, you're moving over 1,000 miles away from your house. So
right.
You want to make sure that you start packing early and getting rid of some of this stuff that, you don't need to move, which is actually going to be talked about in another step. So that's what we mean by starting to get started a lot earlier.
Absolutely. Now, number three is box everything up and label each box with what room it goes in, especially at your new house. If you want to kind of move things around, hey, this is going to look better in the living room than it is going to be in the dining room, make sure you label that. Make sure you know where everything's going to go in your new house. And it kind of leads us into number four.
Getting rid of stuff you don't need that you don't want to move. Now, this is a big one because you're moving cross country. So if there's that couch that you're just like, God, I hated that thing ever since it got delivered to the house, sell it. Like, right. Don't move it here. You're not going to want it. What's the sense in paying to have that moved? Like, when we have people move here, there's a lot of times they will literally sell everything, all of their furniture, everything in their house. So literally they have a U-Haul trailer with their stuff in it. They pull it up to Michigan and buy all new furniture.
All right, so number five is pack a suitcase with all your essentials for the first few days or weeks after you move. Now, this is essential because let's say perhaps something happens with a moving truck and you're not able
Breaks down,
to...
blows an engine up,
right.
Gets robbed.
You're not able to get your stuff within the time it matters. You want to make sure that you are prepared for all this. And this is actually going to continue on a later tip as well, as far as your personal belongings. Any important documents need for closing on the property, even licenses or IDs or tax returns, whatever a lender or a title company are going to need, make sure you keep that stuff out before you pack them away.
Absolutely. Number six, this is a big one that's going to save you a ton of stress. Now, obviously, hiring a moving company to help you move is number six. Now, obviously, you can do this yourself. We all think we're, got put our big pants on and we're just, I can do this. I don't have to pay somebody. My wife and I moved twice without a moving company. And this was just in state. This isn't even talking cross country. And it's stressful. There's a lot of stuff to move. The older you get, the more kids you have, or even if you don't have kids, just the older you get, you accumulate stuff. You don't realize how much you're accumulating.
Goes back to the other one about getting rid of stuff you don't need.
Exactly. So the stress level of hiring a moving company versus not is a massive difference. When I hired a moving company to move us to our new house, they literally came, packed everything up. There was like 6 or 7 of them there. They packed everything in boxes for us. They moved everything. Now we packed a lot of stuff ourselves, and then they labeled stuff, and then they even went as far as putting the bed together. Now, I can't guarantee a cross-country moving company is going to do that, but the point is they have other perks of having a moving company. And Ross and I are actually working on some benefits for you. We are negotiating with some of these cross-country movers to be able to get deals for our viewers and put together a relocation package for you guys. So make sure you stay tuned for that because we're working on it.
Absolutely. Now, if you do decide that you want to move yourself, this goes into tip number 7. Have hire movers just move the larger stuff, such as couches, recliners, beds, things like that. That way you don't have to worry about those things. You can just get a little U-Haul to tow behind your Prius and move to Michigan.
Now, unless you are a truck driver, which
Right.
a ton of us are not truck drivers. So if you have a Class A CDL and your boss says you can move the empty trailer, then obviously you're golden.
Right.
But majority of us do not have that luxury.
Now, we have had a couple people that moved here where they bought a big cargo trailer and they actually loaded everything up, loaded all their belongings. They moved here to Michigan, and then once they got here, they just turned around and sold it.
Yeah,
And
that is an option.
They were able to actually get out ahead from where they were coming from with purchasing that trailer.
Now, please, when you're looking at moving companies, do your research. If you're not talking to Ross and I about which moving companies to use, make sure you do your research. Don't just take somebody off Craigslist that says that they can move you cross country, because if your stuff all disappears and it gets sold all over the U.S., well, you're going to be starting fresh when you get here. So
Right.
make sure it's a reputable company so that you're getting and making sure that your stuff's going to be here on time, unless, if you're moving during the winter or during tornado season or something like that, you never know what's going to happen. So just make sure that you check out who you're going with.
Right. Absolutely. Now, number 8 is make a list of important phone numbers and addresses that might be related to your move. And what I mean about this is, say you have a certain point of contact with your moving company. Now, the best way I found to do this is just make a notes, either whatever notes app on your phone, and make sure you write those things down or save them as contacts. That way you're not trying to go scroll through all your messages and look through million different phone numbers.
Yeah, scrambling everywhere trying to find
I'm looking
everything.
at him because he is notorious for this.
Whatever, Ross. As I'm talking about that, my phone goes off.
But make sure you save those contacts and save the addresses and everything that you need for your move, and make sure you have them up beforehand. That way they don't get lost in your move.
Yeah, because this is already going to be stressful enough. We're going to do everything in our power to help it be less stress, and this is just one of those things that you're going to be able to do that knows, okay, if I need to call the mover, I've got the number right here, instead of, oh shit, where's that email? Oh crap, dang it. How did I delete that thing? Right. Shoot. You don't want to get in that position.
So that also goes in number 9 is, like I said earlier, important documents. If you need tax returns for your lender, if you need pay stubs for your lender, or if you need IDs or whichever, trust documents, make sure you have that stuff out before you pack everything up. Now, number 10 is actually asking friends and family for help. Many friends and family are willing to help, some are not. But you just got to find your friends and family, get them all together, buy pizza, pay them whatever, because it might offset some of the cost of actually hiring some of these movers.
They say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to move you.
Right. I would agree.
Get your
100%.
friends and family helping you do the move. And a lot of times we have found people relocating to Michigan, a lot of their family actually fly out here and help them set everything up, help them move, help them get settled, because obviously some people that are moving here are starting fresh and you don't know anybody when you get here.
Yeah, absolutely. I've actually had multiple cases of that. I had a family move here from Pennsylvania, and they had a lot of their family move out, or not move out, but fly out from Pennsylvania, and they were able to help them get their new house in order.
So number 11, take care of your belongings while they're in transit. What does this mean? This means, get all the bubble wrap. The kids can play with it when they get here, but don't let them pop it before they do. So make sure everything is packed up really nice, especially all the belongings. So if you are going to have a moving company help you pack anything, make sure that everything that is breakable, that you have packed really nicely, because, you don't know what's going to happen in transit. If they slide, if they slam on the brakes and something goes flying or a box goes flying or anything like that, you want to make sure that your stuff arrives in Michigan safe.
Absolutely. And also, if you're moving yourself, I would say if you're moving, especially during the winter, make sure everything's covered, make sure everything's dry, because obviously snow is water. And if that gets on your stuff, it's going to melt eventually, and it's going to make everything wet.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the last thing that you want. So,
Yeah.
All right, the last one, number 12, unpack as soon as you can so you can start feeling at home in your new house.
This is actually kind of one that a lot of people kind of neglect.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when people move here, they just throw everything in the garage and, I'll get to it. But you really never start feeling at home, and that stress just kind of looms over you throughout your whole first few months while you're in your new house.
It does. And this is not just a relocation thing. I think everybody does this. If you're moving in general, make sure you unpack everything, because a lot of times you'll start buying stuff over again And then you'll go through all your boxes that you hadn't gone through yet and realize, oh crap, that's where it is. So just make sure you get everything unpacked, get things placed where you want it, because again, it's going to make you feel at home. You're going to a new area, you're relocating away from your state. You want to get feeling that way as soon as you possibly can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with these 12 tips, you can try to make your move here just a little less stressful. But if you guys are in the market for making a move here in Michigan, make sure to reach out to us. We have your back when you're moving to the Michigan area.
Absolutely. You can call us, you can text us, you can even send a pigeon carrier. Again, whatever you have to do to get a hold of Ross and I, we have your back when it comes to making a move here in Michigan.
Now, with that being said,
you stayed till the end. You stayed till the end.
Stayed till the end.
That means you get a chance to win some goodies.
Watch this video right here.
Let's go.